Growing up, my family raced and rode dirt bikes for fun. It was kind of our family thing. But I also did it with a lot of my friends and kids from school or just people in my neighborhood. Motocross could be expensive. My family didn't always have the money for new gear or aftermarket parts. But man, did I really love this new helmet that I saw in a magazine. It was a replica from the king himself, the king of Supercross, Jeremy McGrath. This helmet was beautiful, it was expensive as it was awesome, and I thought if I could just have that helmet, my friends and the kids at the track would think I was so much cooler and I would automatically be that much happier. That summer I washed cars and boats, I mowed lawns, I worked for my dad, for my uncle, anybody who would give me work in my neighborhood to help me save enough money to buy this helmet, I would do it. And I did just about anything. Well, summer was coming to a close and that helmet went on sale at my local shop. I had just made enough money to get that helmet and I had my dad speed me to that shop. I had that helmet for about a month. And let me tell you, every time I put that helmet on, pure bliss. Until I went riding with my best friend Rodney a few weeks later. Rodney had the unreleased model of the King's newest helmet. My cool and awesome helmet was no longer so cool. The happiness and the excitement, that bliss that I once had now been completely eliminated. How many of us have found ourselves in a similar situation? You saw something and you thought, that's all I need. And if I have it, I'll be happy. That thing that we wanted eventually gets old. It gets outdated, it gets replaced, it fades, and what happens? Our happiness goes away with it. Now we're back to square one, searching for that one item, that one thing that we so desperately must have that will equal our happiness. Let me ask you a question. What do you think makes you happy? How long does that happiness usually last? A few minutes? A few hours? Maybe a day or two. In fact, no thing will ever make you happy long enough. There is no thing that you can buy, no thing you can get, no thing you can listen to, no thing you can wear, so what can give us everlasting happiness? In the book of Matthew, we see a man approach Jesus who is very well versed in the laws and commandments, and he asks him a question. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Jesus replied, love your iPhone, your PS4, your money, I'm just kidding. He didn't say any of that. In fact, he knew that things would eventually let us down. So no, Jesus did not say to love things. Here's how he actually replied. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus' response is quite simple. Love the Lord your God. Not just a little, not with half of who you are, but with all of your heart, all of your soul, and all of your mind. But Jesus didn't stop there. No, love your neighbor as yourself. First, we must love God, then our neighbors, finally, ourselves. This message is clear. Love. You see, each and every one of you was perfectly designed by God. Not to connect with our phones, our clothes, our computers, or these sweet motorcycle helmets. We, God's creation, were created to connect with and love God and one another. Earlier I asked you a question. Does anybody remember it? What makes you happy? No matter if you are hurting, you're sad, you're scared, or you're already a little happy. When we have someone around and with us that we love, we find comfort. Fear becomes strength, pain becomes healing, and happiness grows. Here's the bottom line. If you want to be happy, love people more than things.